I want to give you an idea, a snapshot, a kind of a close-up of just one little section of the route. But from this snapshot, you can get an idea of the land and the water that I'm traveling over. This is called the falls chain. This is the flowage of water. It's actually quite dangerous water in here, but I'll be going very slowly. But here you have a series of flowage waterfalls as it flows through here. And this is real obviously, I'm going to be going slow, portaging around, taking shortcuts around this if I can. But there'll be areas where you have actual rivers that you're moving around or paddling through. And then the rivers open up into lakes, where you have these larger lakes, but there's actually a flowage of current through these lakes. For the most part, the lakes can be safe, but when you get into narrows, like right around in here, when you have current flowing through, the current will suddenly appear. And so it is actually quite tricky navigating it through. I can read most of this ice quite easily if I can see it. If you get a snowfall, there's a problem. But by reading the ice itself, or a lot of times I can determine by just looking at the terrain where the current would be running, and I would avoid the current. So there's a lot of navigational challenges through the open water. There are some bigger lakes that are relatively with very little current, if any, that are very safe. But there's probably about 150 miles of this area that I'm going through that has this flowage, and it's also an area of a lot of wildlife. The waterfowl will be returning back from the south here. You get a lot of otters, wolves, and so forth. So it's a real wildlife-rich area, but real challenging to travel through in the spring.